Hello everyone, Shendwe here. I'm doing a rundown of the upcoming Doflamingo Treasure Map, just like I did with the previous treasure map. I hope it's of some help for your team building. And this one is a map that in Japan didn't have an invasion battle. We have an invasion boss here that is exclusive for the global version of the map. So we don't have any information whatsoever about the invasion boss, outside from the fact it's gonna be Senior Pink. We only know it's gonna be Senior Pink. We don't know what the debuffs are for the map or how it is structured, so we cannot actually prepare for that boss whatsoever. We will have to go and do some trial and error in the first phases of the map, when it's easier to beat him, to figure out what's the best team against him. Luckily enough, since he's gonna be an intrusion boss, you won't have any limitation whatsoever even if you play on New World and Grand Line, because you can build any, you can reuse any character you use in different teams to face the invasion boss. But let's take a look to the boss we already know, the ones that were already present in the Japan version of the map. The first one is Gladius. Gladius is a strength boss, but he's gonna have a stage 6 mini boss, which is Dellinger. Dellinger will be a quick boss instead. Dellinger is kinda easy actually. Is gonna reduce your chain multiplier for 2 turns and limit the number of special you can use at 2 per turn, but again for just 2 turns, and will change all of your orbs into either empty or block orbs. The last one is by far the most annoying debuff is gonna apply, because the 2 special limit and the chain reduction are not that bad. It's not very annoying. You can easily even ignore it at all, ignore the debuffs and just hit him normally, and let the debuffs go away. They are gonna go away even if you kill him first turn, nonetheless, because they only last 2 turns. So the preemptive debuffs from Gladius will get rid of them anyway. So it's nothing to wrap your head too much around. The actual problem will be the boss, which is Gladius. Gladius will preemptively apply despair on both of your captains for 6 turns. We'll have a debuff that prevents you from delaying him, and we'll have a 3 turns damage threshold applied on him preemptively. You also, if you take him under 50% of his health, is gonna apply 4 turns of resilience, and if you bring him under 20% of his health, is gonna attack you for a massive 80,900 damage. Is not actually terrible as far as treasure map boss go. All you have to do actually is to get rid of the despair and of the damage threshold. The last one, the damage threshold, is actually the most annoying debuff you'll have to face against him. In my own team, as you can see, I plan to use a quick Whitebird as a captain, coupled with Ace, Wake of an Endless Dream as a sub-unit, because those two can, with their specials, can get rid of both annoying debuffs that I was talking about. because if I use Ace I can get rid of the damage threshold, and then after I used him, since he will cut the health of our team to 1 point, we'll have, we not only will have the largest buff we can get from Whitebird, which is a massive 4.5 times the attack for our units, for our powerhouse and striker units. But we will also be able to use Whitebird special not only to boost even further our attack, but also to completely get rid of the despair. So the other characters are just in as fillers. Smoothie and Oven is gonna boost our orbs, not really necessary I think, but it's gonna be helpful on higher levels, on higher navigation levels I mean, and they are nice because they give nice boost to the points. And Rebecca is actually usable on stage 6 because she will reduce the chain multiplier limit and chain coefficient reduction by 5 turns. So she will get rid of the most annoying debuff from Dellinger actually. She also will change adjacent orbs into matching orbs, but since Dellinger will randomly turn some of those into block orbs, it's not guaranteed that she'll be able to actually give you matching orbs, but sometimes she will. Anyway, generally speaking, this team is absolutely perfect against Gladius, I think. If you don't have these units, you may use actually several different units. As I told before, Dellinger is not much of an issue, you can just attack him. You can use another unit that can get rid of the chain limit. You can I mean of the chain reduction, and you can use different units if you want to get rid of despair and threshold. You can use, for example, Linley's special can get rid of 5 turns of despair. You can use Opera if you make a fighter team. Just remember that for it to work, Opera special needs you to have in your crew at least 5 fighter characters. You can use, for example, Zoro special to get rid of the threshold as well. So there are options. Okay, you can even use, if you want, Carrot or a friend Carrot at least as a captain, to completely ignore the threshold debuff. So you have several options available. Gladius is not very hard at all. The next boss we're looking at is Pica. Pica is an int unit, which is an interesting choice because Pica actually strikes me as anything but the intelligent type. But I guess nowadays types are just colors, unlike in the early days of the game where they tried to actually match the characteristic of the characters to the type more tightly. Anyway, Pica will apply 99 turns of immunity on himself. He will make all of the orbs that have a type or even recovery orbs as badly matching. Will apply a debuff that makes them badly matching for 19 turns, and will cut your HP by 50% and will apply on himself 2 turns, 89 turns of 2-hit perfect barrier. And when he dies, when you kill him, he will revive with 300,000 HP, which is not much, but he will have 300 times defense up for 4 turns, which is really annoying, and will also apply 1.5 times attack up on himself for 4 turns. But he won't have a barrier this time. Okay, let's take a look at my team. As you can see, my own team is kind of overkill. You don't really need the Sanjay Judge to get rid of Pica. All you have to do is actually use 2 specials. One of them is gonna be Big Mom's special. Big Mom is gonna make all of your orbs into G orbs that will get rid of the most annoying debuff from Pica, which is the badly matching orbs. And after he revives, I highly suggest to use a unit which special can do fixed damage that bypasses the barriers. There are 2 units actually you can use for that. You can use Jack. Jack special will do exactly 300,000 damage and will kill him. Same thing goes for Moria. You can use Moria from Colosseum, and it will do exactly the same thing, 300,000 fixed damage. So those 2 can get rid of Pica really easily. All you have to do is fill the rest of the team, find a suitable captain, and fill the rest of the team with some other units. That's it. That's basically it. Third boss we are gonna take a look at is Sugar. Sugar is a little bit trickier because she herself is not anything to worry too much about. She's kinda weak, but she will have 3 mob units that will help her. And they, unfortunately, all of 3 of them have barriers, so it's gonna be a trickier one. It's not terribly hard though. The center doll, the Psy doll, will have a lock on itself for 2 turns, and a barrier, a 1-hit Psy barrier for 2 turns. And the other 2 dolls, the Psy ones, will have a 100,000 HP barrier for 2 turns. Then you can, if you get rid of those, you can attack no problem Sugar. Sugar will only apply a buff to the doll's attack, and will change all of your orbs randomly into either empty, tandem, bomb, or block orbs. So it's not that terrible, but definitely you wanna get rid of the dolls. In my own team, as you can see, I decided to use a Carrot Captain, so that I don't even have to take care of the problem, because she will bypass the barriers and I can just attack. If you don't have Carrot, you can use some characters. For example, a good unit you can use is Jack. And Jack, if you attack with Jack, is gonna get rid automatically of the doll that has the lock on itself, and then you can attack the rest. You are gonna need, of course, some orb manipulator. You can use, you can see I'm using actually both in my team, which is again overkill. You can use a Suleiman, you can use Donsai for that. Donsai is really good for that because he can change, he will randomize orb, including block orbs. You can use a Suleiman, will change orbs into matching orbs, save for the type 1s. They are both viable. There are other options as well, so it's not very hard because in this map there are a lot of boosted or trusty characters that are orb manipulators, so you have a lot of choice. The most annoying thing I think is gonna be the take care of the first guy, the int doll, because he has a barrier that specifically requires you to have a certain type of orb, but there are a lot of ways around it actually. You can also use units like Pedro. Pedro is gonna damage all of the enemies, ignoring the barriers. Also, similar effect you can find on Treasure Map Whitebird. So there are ways around it. It's not terribly complicated. Diamante is kind of a slightly trickier one because he has some annoying debuffs. First of all, he will rewind the specials on the top and middle row by 3 turns, and will apply special bind on the bottom right unit. He will also do extra damage at the end of the turn. Will apply 10 turns of end of turn damage and will do 5000 HP worth of damage every turn. He only attacks every 2 turns, but if you wait and stall until turn 2, he will change his type into quick and will apply 80% damage reduction from dexterity units for 3 turns. So if you decide to actually stall on him and kill him in multiple turns, which is kind of hard actually because of the 10 turns of extra damage, you will have to be careful to bring in your team units that aren't dex units, so you may use for example int or psi units. Those are good choices. You will also on turn 2 change all of your slots into empty, so you may want to bring an orb manipulator again. Orb manipulators are really important in this map. For my team against Diamante, I plan to use double Raid Ace Captain, as you can see, because his Captain ability is gonna boost the attack of 3 different classes. Of course, to get the best out of him, your health needs to be below 50%, so I'm gonna use Moby Dick as a ship, and I plan to take purposely a bit of damage in the early stages of the boss to get the best boost possible. And as for subs, you have 2 ways you can go. You can 2 ways to get rid of the debuffs Diamante applies, because you see, the annoying thing is that he's gonna rewind your specials, so you can either use units that can reduce the cooldown for a special, or you can use units that have an effect that lasts for more than 1 turn, that lasts for at least 3 turns in fact, which is what I'm doing here. As you can see, I'm using Smoothie and Neptune because both have a special that lasts for 3 turns, so I plan to use them on the previous stage and then forget about it, because I won't care anymore if Diamante obviously rewinds the special after I've used them. Also, the character you will put on the bottom left will have his special ready. So if you plan to use some unit instead that will reduce your cooldown, some good examples may be Carrot. With Carrot there isn't much of a problem if you plan to use Carrot as for example as a friend captain, because she has built in, as long as she has a limit broken, her sailor ability, her second sailor ability will prevent her from have her special being reduced at all. So it's gonna be perfect against him, and you can use her special to reduce the cooldown for the characters she boosts for all the classes she boosts for by 2 turns. Or you can even use Waratsumi, which is a common unit, Fortnite unit, and his special will reduce the special cooldown for fighter and powerhouse characters, so you're gonna pay some attention to how you build your teams to have all of your characters, or at least the ones you want to use the special off, be from those 2 classes. And you also want to put him, as I was saying, on the bottom left to prevent Diamante from actually reducing his special, because it's the first one you're gonna use, of course. In the bottom right I put Opera because he's gonna reduce special bind by himself by 3 turns, so he's not being affected by Diamante's debuff at all. The final boss on the map is of course Doflamingo himself, and is gonna be by far the most annoying one to face, which goes without saying, of course. He's the final boss. He's very annoying though. He's gonna have a stage 6 mini boss that will apply preemptively 1 turn of special bind on all of your units, and will bind top and bottom rows for 4 turns. You may want to stall for 1 turn, but you actually can't, because on turn 2 he will despair both of your captains for 4 turns and apply paralysis on all of your team for 3 turns. So he's very annoying due to particularly due to this mini boss, because you have to get rid of it, and after that you'll face the final boss, again Doflamingo quick. Is a quick type. Is gonna apply 99 turns of protection from delay. Is gonna lock chain multiplier to 1.2 times. Is gonna apply 3 turns of percentage damage reduction, which is the rainbow shield on himself, and he's gonna have 2 turns of 2 hits good barrier. Lots of annoying debuffs. Also, every turn he will change all of the orbs into block orbs, and starting from second turn, every 3 turns he will apply heal bind for 3 turns, and will boost his own attack for 4 turns. So lots of annoying stuff. The most annoying thing though is the fact that you cannot actually use attack boost on his stage, because if you use attack boost on this stage he will clear the buff immediately, and will also apply 10 turns of special bind to your team. So it's kinda hard to get rid of all the stuff stage 6 and stage 7 do. In fact, if you take a look at my team, you will see my team isn't absolutely ideal either, because it doesn't completely get rid of the debuffs. I had to work with the units I had, unfortunately, and I must say that this map, just like the Nami map, is pretty bad precisely because Bandai decided to put in on the last boss some very annoying debuffs that only a very few trusty unit can get rid of. So you have a choice of either using a non-trusty unit or basically pull on the Sugofest, because obviously all of the units you may pull from the Sugofest are perfect to get rid of those debuffs. Very few options are available outside of that. So you can see where Bandai is going, whether they want to force you to pull. I don't think it's something that is good, not just for the players but also for them, because they are gonna piss off a lot of people if they keep doing that. They are gonna alienate their own players from playing the treasure map at all, I think. And I get they want to reward somehow people that are pulling, but I think they should reward people that are pulling on the Sugofest by making the map easier for them, not by making the map more difficult for other players, which is kinda meh. It's kinda stupid for me. Anyway, let's see. Let's take a look at my team. I think one of the best possible units to use against Doflamingo is Lin Lin, because she's ambush Lin Lin is gonna boost your attack for 3 turns. She's gonna boost attack of Driven and Powerhouse characters by 2.25, which is insane, just after the 12th hit. So just the last couple hits for 3 turns. So she can get actually rid of the issue with the interrupt. You'll also need an orb manipulator. I plan to use Cracker. Cracker is an excellent orb manipulator. It's gonna give you a full board of matching orbs. And as far as other units goes, I plan to use Pica's special to make him the captain. I'm gonna use actually Judge in the early stages of the Doflamingo run, and then switch him for Pica, because Pica is gonna have, if you use his special, a massive boost to his own attack. He's gonna boost his own attack by 6 times, which is really insane. And also he's gonna be able to resist to restore his own special cooldown by 2 turns and to reduce the silence duration by 3 turns, so he's gonna be basically immune to every possible debuff it's applied on him. We need a character to get rid of the threshold, and as you can see, Zoro is not ideal here because he's only gonna be half boosted by the friend captain. And actually I tried to find another solution, but there are not actually many characters that can reduce the threshold. I say that the threshold. What I mean is the percent damage reduction. Sorry, the percent damage reduction debuff is really tricky to get around. As I said, there are only very few units that can take care of it. If you pull on the Sugofest and you got Corazon, you are good to go. He gets rid of everything Doflamingo does. If you don't have him, unfortunately, you are gonna have to compromise. And Zoro is okay, but you can't actually use him at his fullest because it's kind of tricky to build a full driven team unless you pulled Barton Cavendish. Again, if you pulled, it's gonna be way easier. But I think this team is kinda nice. One unit you can use on stage 6 that may help you is this one, Usoland. Usoland, you are gonna unlock him on the treasure map itself. I think once you reach 100,000 points, you're gonna get one. And it gets rid of the special bind, so it's gonna be really useful. Unfortunately, it's just he only has one class and is gonna be a free spirit, so it's very likely he won't be boosted at all in your team. But he'll give you quite a good boost to the points actually. You may want to put him in the middle row to use him at his fullest, and you will also be able to get rid of the bind easily if you put, as I did, Lin in the middle row on the 6th stage, obviously. It's unfortunately I won't be able with this team to fully use Snake Man either. Because I won't be able to use his special on stage 6. I will have to use him on stage 7, so I'm not getting from him the 2 times or boost. So yeah, I'm not extremely happy with this team I came up with, but it's as I said, you gotta compromise because the whole thing is not ideal. Probably at higher levels I'll even have to do different stuff to change my team somehow. You can also do something like this, because Kizaru will boost your attack by 1.75 for 3 turns. It will boost the attack of all characters with the same time as your captain, so it will boost 3 times the dex units. And you can do something like that. This way Usoland will get rid of both the special bind and the bind debuffs, and Kizaru will boost your attack for 3 turns to get around the interrupt. So this combination is also viable. Unfortunately, this way you will get a smaller boost to your attack than you will do with Lin. I actually don't know which one is better in terms of damage. I could try to calculate this, but I don't think it will be perfectly correct, because there are some factors to take in consideration. It's kind of complicated, but we'll see. I myself will have to do some research during the map and do some trial and error to figure out what team is better against Doflamingo, because it's really a tricky one. So that said, I wish you the best and good luck for the map. Have fun and leave a like if you think this was of some help, and leave a comment if you want. Subscribe, which is always gonna be extremely helpful for my channel, and I'm gonna upload any reward ticket I will pull from in the next videos. So please continue to follow me and have a nice treasure map. See ya!